yeah. So like, just long story short, it's just like I I've gained a lot of good coins in my life, and I've done a lot of things. And like, I went to the military. I'm a veteran. I got my benefits, and I created a very good kingdom in my life. And I feel very I don't know if the word's selfish
How old
to
are
give
you?
it. I'm 27. I'm 27. I'm about to be 28 this November. So I was born in '96, things like that. And yeah, I'm trying to look for a family. I'm trying to make a family, but I don't really think that nobody's qualifying to make a family. And I feel like that this is going to be an ongoing issue for at least a decade because I don't think my generation is ready, and I don't want to marry older women or even look towards
So wait,
older
wait,
women.
wait,
And
wait, wait, wait. So you saying that you got everything together, and now
absolutely.
you're thinking about getting married in a family, but you don't think that there's any women that qualify.
Well, no, like for example, there are women. There's not 100% in everything. I'm not. I apologize if I wasn't speaking clear. There is a possibility. I just feel that the possibility is just so slim now to what it was in the prior days.
How many you
And
need? You do you need one or do you need them all?
I just need one. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not looking to have multiple wives. I'm just looking to to have the regular nuclear family and have the American dream.
Okay, so well, Quentin, do you want to answer this, or do you want me to answer it?
Shit, he doing it better than me when I was 27. I was out here like a fuck boy.
My thing is, I've never believed in looking for a woman ever.
Hmm.
I just think that when you see one and it makes sense, it's supposed to align. And until then, you just focus 100% on yourself. Listen, bro, I'm not even going to kid you, man. I meet women that I believe is marriage material all the time.
Would it be okay if I got a piece of paper and wrote down some things that are coming across my mind as you speak?
Oh, no, you go do your thing.
Appreciate it. I'm just gonna run and get this piece of
I got to
paper
put
really.
this guy on camera. He's so well put together, Quentin. You got to see this guy.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna grab this pen and
I
I'm
got you,
gonna.
big dog. Go ahead.
And they
Quentin,
got
you
a
got to see
ballpoint
this
pen.
guy.
He got a ballpoint pen.
Yeah,
This guy is well put together.
my
Listen,
apologies. My pen is inside of my
he
car.
speaks well. He
You know
got
what?
it together. The
Here,
whole
yeah,
nine yards.
I'll just do. Wait, I have a marker. I have a marker. I'll be right back. I have a marker.
You got to see this guy. You got to see this guy. Look at
Oh,
him.
that nigga got a weapon.
This guy, he got it together. Quentin, listen.
Ain't nobody coming through the door.
Oh, not at all.
But and I kind of wanted to give you some context about myself too as well, and the reason why I feel so worried about these concerns. But I don't want to interrupt you. My apologies.
No, no,
It's
no.
just
You good? This is good.
yeah. I've been I have been planning on speaking to you for quite some time. I've been writing paragraphs on Instagram, erasing them, writing paragraphs on Instagram, erasing them because I've been like, man, maybe this message is too long, maybe this message is too short. I don't want this guy to be thinking like I don't mean to call you a guy. My apologies. I don't want this man to be thinking like I'm just trying to get over on him or I need some services from him. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I always remember what Kevin Samuels says was like, hey, when you come across somebody who's at a higher status than you, you have to offer some services because it's like if I don't want you around, then like what's the course of having you around? Like you're not any ROI. So it's just like,
Hmm.
come on, man, what the heck? So I was like, man, I'm a logistician. I've been retired ever since 2022, but I'm hopping back in the workforce now. But it's like like I said, I have so many knowledge, like I have so much knowledge in all these different domains, and I'm trying to figure out how many ways I can hit you up and trying to make you feel like that I'm an asset to you, so
No,
that
no, no.
way
You
I can.
you don't have to do all of that, bro. I'm not one of those
Yeah,
guys. I'm a
but
down to earth, cool dude, and with you know what I'm saying. I like to add value into people's lives. So here's the thing, bro.
right.
I think that you're approaching it a little bit wrong. Um, when it comes to finding a wife, I don't think that, or when it comes to wind up, getting married, I think that you're looking for everything in one box. And I'm not gonna have an extended conversation because I want to keep some of the stuff private, and I don't, you know what I'm saying. I don't want your business to be 100% out there. So email me. Do you know my email address?
Yeah, I think it's on your Instagram page.
Yep. Email me and then we gonna kick it from there, and then we could just have a little bit deeper conversation. But again, I'm more of the type of person that thinks that you should just keep focusing because you still have a lot to do, right? As far as you are and as well as you're doing in life, I still think that there's so much more to accomplish, and I don't think that there's any. For me, I kind of have this thirst and this hunger for more, and it doesn't matter how far I get or how accomplished I become. In order for me to continue to thrive and in order for me to continue to be a productive person in society, I always have to continue to strive and I have to be better than I was the day before. And so as a result, my purpose continuously evolves depending on where I am at that particular time. Who I am at 30 is different than who I am at 40. But then at the same time, my goals and my aspirations have evolved also. And so I think that the mistake that a lot of these younger guys make that's in their 20s is they set their goals, they set their purpose, and they say, okay, well, once I hit this, now this is when I should be qualified for this, or this is when I should be looking for that. No, you're never a fully polished, finished person. You're always going to be ever evolving, and your purpose is going to change according to how it is that you progress through life. And so, the type of woman that you should look for is not a woman that checks all the boxes, because what
Mhm.
you're trying to vet for is a woman that fits where you are right now.
Can
And
I
what
can I
I
say something?
well, hold on, give me 1 second. What I tell guys to vet women for where you're going, not necessarily where you at. So you may not find the women that you run into may not necessarily be a finished product. You just don't want women that have the wrong attitude, the wrong disposition, and then also is not going in the direction that you're going in. I don't care if she's a finished product. I want her to be a productive adult. I want her to have great morals and values. I also want her to understand exactly what it is that I'm doing. I want her to be a person that's coachable. And then I ultimately want her to be the type of woman that I could see myself growing with long term. Those are the criteria, right? When we see what's happening in society today, people are looking for baddies. They looking for a chick that can put on her makeup a lot, one that's a chameleon and can tell you what it is that she wants. They always looking to make sure that they taking care of a woman. That's not what you should be looking for in a woman. You should look for a woman that's equally yoked. She should be a praying woman. She should be a woman that has a good disposition. She should be productive as far as being able to take care of herself and pay her bills. She ain't got to be rich, but then at the same time, I don't want her to be broke because I don't want her to look for me to save her. She should also be whole and that she's not becoming interdependent on you in order for her to be happy, meaning that she needs to be adding value into it, not sucking life from you. And then she also should be a woman that you know that you can groom into taking her into a room with people that ultimately add value into you. The main thing that I've always valued from my wife, right, is the fact that she can control a room whenever I take her to a meetup, whenever I take her to meet corporate executives, whenever I go into a certain space, she's always looking to add value. Half of the people that I interact with and half of the people that I call friends today were introduced to me by way of her through somebody that she's connected to that she made friends with. So her ability to network, communicate, add value into your life, those are the type of things that you should be looking for when you spot certain women. I'm not sure if guys that are in their 20s truly understand that what check all the boxes mean. I think a lot of times they think that check all the boxes mean, the superficial things. That's not check all the boxes. Checking all the boxes is the intangibles. It's the things that you have no clue that other people can't see value in, but you know that she has way more potential than what she is to continue to add value into your life. Those are the things that I look for when it comes to a woman.
And to like to I also want to give like a little context. I was in a relationship with a woman for 4 years.
Mhm.
She was top 7%, when it came down to income. So her debt, the income rate wasn't an issue, but that is something that I take in consideration. I try to go, I didn't. My dad
Wait,
was
wait, wait.
around.
Why you break up with her?
I'm sorry.
Why did y'all break up?
I watched your video, and to be honest, I wasn't really that close with God. I'm going to be completely honest here. I was very um, swayed essentially by science and things like that. So it's very hard. But essentially too as well, I have always been protected. I could say I don't want to sound like I'm speaking from a fairy tale's point of view, but I have felt like I have been given a gracious period of all the things that I've done in my life and been through. But that's nor here or there. But the point of it is the reason why I broke up with her is because I had watched one of your videos, and you basically had said to ask God to replace the ones that need to be replaced.
Hmm.
And me and my girlfriend, like ever since I started watching you, I've been telling her, like, I told her straight up, like, hey, look, I'm getting closer to God. I'm going to put you in church, and this and that. I'm going to teach you how to pray and all this other stuff. And I was just really becoming more and more accountable. I was like, hey, I'm going to like, I'm doing very well for myself now. That I really just wanted to kind of take a little bit more of your time. I know
So
you have a show.
you saying that she wasn't spiritual enough for you?
No, it wasn't that. She was rebellious. To be honest, she was
What do you mean?
rebellious.
Wait. What do you mean by rebellious? Break it down. Get.
So, all right. This is what happened. Long story short, like when I in my relationship, you operate within the infrastructure of the relationship. Operating outside of that is operating outside of my coverage. It's like, think of like the U.S. defense umbrella. Once you go outside that ally range,
I
you
got
can't
you.
cover.
I got you.
And so it was little. See, I have rules to when I pick women. Have a father. If you don't have a father, have a strong male figure.
All
Like a brother. Whatever the case may be. But it just seems like from the very start, she just had trouble with male authority, and I'm paying like $8,000 a month for our living costs and things like that.
Oh,
And mind
wait.
you,
You was taking care of her.
oh yeah, but let me explain. Let me like before you
Mm.
grill me. Before you grill me, hold on. Let me explain. When I got out of the military, I had like, I got out during COVID-19. So like, that's when we met. I had nothing. Like she showed me how to, she showed me how to like get employed, showed me all about taxes. And then like, once I got into my logistics trade, I shot off and I just brung her with me. And then she shot off within her child, like she's a director, for a big, school out here. You know what I mean? For a preschool. So she
So
makes good money.
Hold on. It got to be
this
something deeper than that.
this is the one. You
No,
this is
hold
this is
on, Quinn. We ain't got there yet. We ain't got there. It's something else. Y'all had a discussion. It was a long term something. Something else happened.
Absolutely.
It's something. It
Absolutely.
was something more than just she's rebellious or she didn't want to go to church. What happened?
So we had an emotionally charged vetting. Like I've always vetted her to I'm talking about to a fine iron from the time that we've got to our relationship to the middle. I'm talking about to the point that I'll ask her questions like, hey, who are the men you've been with in your life? She told me five. I'll take that number and I'll write it down and I'll
Wait.
three
You
and
only
I'll
20
re-ask
something.
the question. So
Hold on.
in my
Hold on.
I'm
How
sorry.
old are you again?
I'm sorry.
27.
How old are you again?
I'm 27, but I was doing this back in 24.
Okay. How old was she when you met her?
I'm sorry. I was 23 when I met her. She was 24 when she met me. She's a
Okay.
year older.
Okay. Go
Oh,
ahead.
well, 3 months. I'm sorry, but so the point of it is that I was in my vetting process. I told her, when I'm making this amount of money, I'm going to put all of my liabilities in your name because I can't afford for me to be paying for everything and then you decide to be disrespectful one day and just up and just I'll leave and then I'm stuck with the credit bureau and all this other stuff. So that was the deal. As long as you remain good behavior, you will always get, the bills and everything paid out and yada yada yada. We'll go from that forward as I'm getting down the road, as I'm getting more and more ingrained in the relationship, what ends up happening is that we have troubles with how we're going to discipline our kids. And then I figured out, I watched a video about basically authenticity. It was about a gentleman and a woman who were like the woman was on the phone and she was speaking about like how Rita and yourself, I guess the lady didn't like the way how you describe women and Rita didn't really have a problem with it. And I'm kind of like yourself. Like if I see a pretty girl, I'm hey yada yada yada. And my girlfriend has never gave me a bad eye to that. But at the end of the day, I always kind of felt that she had something towards all of that. So I would, I brought that up and then things like that. And
So, but
basically,
she wasn't on board with that.
no. She told me that she doesn't not feel pretty. She understands that what I'm saying to her is what I want her to be in the future. So she said, if anything, that's just a blueprint of what she wants to be. It was just a part of the authenticity I think that she didn't really get on board with is when I was going ahead and I was saying, hey man, the next thing that I want to move to is your body count. And I want to know, like you've been with five guys, but hey, how many times have you had sex with these five guys? So we went to every single, I'm talking about session, yada yada. I'm like,
No, no,
it,
no. You
it
don't
was,
want to want that. You don't want that.
it was a real grade process. I know
You
I'm
don't
speaking
want
out of
that.
my
You don't
knowledge.
want
It was
that,
a
bro.
real grading process,
Yeah,
and uh,
God.
and the reason why it was a real grading process because I'm putting all my all into this. Is marriage is going to be the biggest investment of my life. So I just regraded her, 4 years within the
No,
relationship,
no, no,
and
no, 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 no. Listen, 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 listen. Ken, can I call you Ken, or would you
yeah,
prefer me?
way
Okay,
too
Ken.
easy.
Listen, listen. You too rigid.
That's yeah.
You
It's
way.
like
You're
you
too rigid.
have pros and cons, and then and at the end of the day, you're like, you got too many cons. Break up. I'm out.
Yeah, like you putting her on a grading scale and all of this stuff. And I get it. I understand. But okay, let me break it down to you like this.
All right.
I have this thing that I look for when I'm looking to invest in a stock, right? And it's seven things that I look for, or I'm sorry, eight things that I look for when I'm looking to invest in a company such as, that's publicly traded. It could be debt to income ratio, it could be management. The first seven things are all of the things that you can verify, measure, look at, right? I can look at how much debt that a company has. I can look at whether or not it's a dividend company. I can look at all of these different things, right? At the end, the eighth thing is instincts, right? And instincts comes with understanding the product itself. Quentin, for example, loves motorcycles. Quentin knows motorcycles more than I ever probably will in my entire life, ever. And with that insight, it gives him some of the intangibles, so much so to where when I'm thinking about buying a motorcycle sometimes, I'll call Quentin and say, hey man, I was thinking about this, and he'll be like, oh man, that's trash. Don't nobody ride that and all of this stuff, right? My point is, it's the same thing when it comes to women, and it's the same thing when it comes to relationships. You can't be so rigid that you can't leverage your instincts in order to truly understand who that person is. The one thing that we know about women is that women are emotional, they feel, love is real, and love is something that can't be measured, right? And so you can put all of these different things that's on a list and you can say, father, body count, how many times that you had sex with each person that you had a body with, you
Yeah,
can
dog.
say, whether or not you have everything in your name, director, all of this other stuff, right? And then when you go and you package all of that stuff and you look at that final thing and you use your instincts to figure out whether or not this person adores you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's also a huge factor. And you cannot be so rigid to where you ignore all of the other things and then you only focus on the stuff that you can measure.
I never
Yeah.
told you what went wrong. I never told you what went wrong. And this, when I
Well,
tell you
you
what went
taking a long
wrong,
time to get there. I'm trying to
my,
get to
my
the other
apologies.
stuff.
My apologies. I will hurry up and get it there. I don't mean to waste your time. Long story short, after all of this, we got through all the hashing out. She followed through all the questions and things like that. No matter how rigorous or how bad they were, she cooperated and she gave me the answers to the questions, and we got through it. It was afterwards she walked around with a poke lip, and I understood because I understood. I have a high EI level, emotional intelligence. I understand that what I asked you is not to make you feel good. Is what I told her. And I understand it wasn't gonna make you feel good, but I lended out my hand. And I said, "Honey, hold my hand," as we walk in the hallway because I just moved her into a nice new luxury apartment, as you can see here, yada yada yada, and but at least in my name, it's not in both our names. But at the end of the day, I was like, here, take my hand. We can go ahead and we can continue, what I'm saying, our relationship and be happy. And the girl wouldn't take my hand. And so I split for a little bit, went to get me some grapes. I took a walk. I came back and I said to her, I said, do you understand why I got upset? And she told me no. And I said, because if someone kicks that door, I have to put up my life. If the lights go out, I have to go to work and put my butt on the line and make, ends meet and bring it home to put clothes on your back, yada, yada, yada. So if I have to do all of these things for you and you can't even sit here and hold my hand over some feelings, then you
You
know,
got you got to give her more grace than that, bro.
Dude, this
okay,
is coming from the ratchet. I fucked up all my life perspective. Like you lace, bro, but you got to find some middle ground, bro.
You do.
You got to find
Got to
like
have some
operate in the
balance,
middle.
bro. You
I
got to
wasn't
have
really
some balance.
I wasn't really expecting that answer from you, to be honest. I kind of am shocked. I kind of thought that you would be on the side of, and this is not to insult your answer, but
No,
I
go
thought
ahead.
that you would be on the side of that, like no matter what, if if I offer an olive branch, you should always take it because
Mm-mm.
at the end of the day, the it's the respect, if anything, because of what I put up. I know, like, don't get me wrong. I know that she does what she does too as well, and I'm not trying to discredit her for that. But all I'm saying is that, like I said, I can go out here. Somebody come up to us with a gun.
Bro. You gotta
On,
have balance. You told us that you put all of your stuff in her name. You
yeah,
told us
absolutely.
that. Wait. You also told us that she carried you before you took off.
Mhm.
You can't forget the person that held you down.
You know what makes me so afraid is when I've seen
Hold
in my
on, hold
movie.
on, hold on, hold on. You keep making it about you. You forgot the person that held you down and gave you the boost before you got to become who you are. See, I listened to that. And when I heard that, I took that into consideration also, in addition to you extending your hand like an olive branch. What about the person that held you down and made sure that you was good and believed in your dreams before you believed in yourself? What about that
You,
part? Because we skipping over. Hold on.
I
Listen,
don't know. You
I
good? I'm
love
sorry.
to hold women accountable when they do something wrong. But you are not telling me anything that she did wrong except for getting upset. Listen, if I go and I give my daughter a whooping right now, she
Okay.
gonna be pouting.
Mhm.
She gonna pout. She not gonna feel good about it. She not gonna be happy that I gave her a whooping. She gonna be
Mhm.
absolutely disgusted. But I understand that there's growth that has to come along with it because I may understand something different that she don't, and she's gonna
Right.
learn a lesson later. I'm not expecting her to feel good about it, but then at the same time, I have to be a little bit more concerned about the idea that yeah, I gave you a whooping, but then at the same time, I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna suit. Listen, let me give you a minute, but I also want you to know that I did this because I didn't want to do that. I'm doing it because A, B, and C, and D, and I don't want the world to kick your ass. And this is why I'm doing this to you. And I got to teach you discipline. And sometimes I can't be your friend. I got to be your father. And so it's compassion and love that goes along with the discipline because the discipline itself, without the love, that's not conducive. That's not going to yield a great result. People only respond to discipline when they know that you're doing it because you care for them. And so, in the same way that you expecting this thing out of it, you also have to be, you also have to be, you have to be mindful to make sure that you're not hurting the very thing that's supposed to be benefiting you too. You told me in the very beginning of this live stream
Okay.
that she held you down and she believed in you and she carried you along until you took off. And then she took off after you took off, meaning that she put you in the forefront before she put herself up there.
That's rare. That's rare, man.
Bro, what else you want?
Okay.
Because
You,
everybody is not going to be a finished product at 24, 25, 26, and 27 years old. You want somebody that you can build with, somebody that you can grow with. That's one of the intangibles. That's the instincts. That's the eighth thing that you're looking for.
okay. I think that that was fine and dandy, and but the thing that I broke off with is that afterwards she threw a tantrum and ended up getting the police involved, and that was something
Oh
was
shit.
yeah, yeah. She went crazy. She went crazy, bro. She went crazy. I don't mean to call you bro, but that's like I was trying to condense the story, but at the end of the day, she went nuts and she started throwing shit. She
Oh,
stormed
okay, you might
her
have.
friends over. She started
Nah,
calling.
Quentin, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was a
I
whole
hate that I have to
rebellion
be
going.
this.
I had to let her go.
I
She was
hate that I have to be this though, Quentin, because I believe that this is only a part of the story. I think that there's another part of the story that he's not telling us.
like,
Listen, a woman
and
just don't look. You don't be normal for 4 years, hold a dude down, pour into him, grow with him,
oh,
move in with him, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, just start throwing stuff.
it
This,
Anton.
this was
It
this
was
was
it
a
was over time.
knockdown, drag down argument, fight, and it was more to it than what's being explained to us right now.
Anton. The only thing I can pretty much tell you was that over the course of time, the best way I can describe it, it was like reprogramming. It was showing her that this is the way how I would like my woman to move. It's not, and like I want to state this too. I would tell her, listen, this is America. You don't have to abide by my rules. You only have to do that if you want to be in a relationship with me. But I want my woman to operate in X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
Because you need a man that's doing one, two, and three. And that was the deal. And over time, she just had an issue with me
What did
just
you
telling
do
her.
that led up? What did you say to her, and then she threw something at you?
Oh, so I told her that because I was asking her obvious questions and I felt like she was giving me disingenuous answers. And I said, and this is what that, I held my calm and I said, okay, well, if you feel that way, I no longer want to be in this relationship because I've explained to you the reason why you've gotten here. And now you're giving me disingenuous answers like I'm Boo Boo the Fool. And then when
And
I
this was
told
all. Wait. And this was all over her body count.
No. This was we got through the body count. We got this we talked about body count. We talked about the discipline of the child. We talked about where we want to be in life. Everything was cool. I was fine with the body count. That was like she had five. We went to the sessions and things. I was just using that to show you how charged the conversation was.
So this is a
But
whole nother day. Then this is a completely different conversation.
this is all one we had one big conversation.
Okay.
The the
So
main
what was
thing
the
that
part?
we had a big
Yeah,
the
what was
main
the
thing that
part
we had a
that?
big debacle on was discipline of the child. She doesn't believe in spankings or whoopings, and that was something that I believed in.
Okay, I got you. Listen, what was the part that led up to the throwing of the stuff and the police coming?
The part that led up to the throwing and the police and stuff is when I basically explained to her the reason why I was upset and the reason why she was where she was and the reason why what
So
she did.
you calmly explained it to her the way you talking to me, and then she just hauled off and went and got a mug and started throwing that mug at your face.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that may sound crazy, but when it comes down to these types of things, I understand that she's emotional and I have to be the rational one. Somebody has to take lead and stepping
Mhm.
back. So, and this is femininity, not masculinity. I'm not going to charge up with a woman. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just basically told her, like, and that's why I explained to her. I didn't come in there, hey, you ain't hold my hand back there. I came in there, I told her, I was like, hey, look, I understand why you left. I understand why you're angry, but do you understand why this is the way it is? And then I explained it to her like a roadmap. And then she gave me a disingenuous answer.
Listen, bro, listen. Sometimes you just gotta let people get that energy off. I've learned how to read the room personally. Everybody don't need everything that you think that they need at the time that they need it. Sometimes people just want to vent. Sometimes people just want to. I come in the crib sometimes, and sometimes I'm just talking, and my chick will just be sitting there and be like, and just to start massaging my shoulders because she know that I'm not necessarily looking for an answer. I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest, and then vice versa, right? Sometimes she come in and she just be like, "Oh man, I'm just so frustrated about this or whatever," and she not looking for me to lecture her. And sometimes I do, you know what I'm saying, give her the game like, but babe, you got to look at it a little bit differently. But in other times, sometimes I'm just listening and I'm like, because I understand her and I know that she just need to vent for a second. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have your pimp hand so strong to where you not also understanding the person that you're dealing with. Listen, y'all been together for 4 years.
Okay.
It sounds like, and I'm guessing that it's all over by now, but it sound like because you can always take lessons from the things that you've experienced before. That once you and I'm gonna just be absolutely honest with you. It's for me and Quentin. You can tell me if I'm off, and I'm always open to the possibility that I'm wrong. It sounds like once you start getting successful and you start coming up, then you start getting a little bit more
That's
tough.
exactly that's
Tough.
exactly what it is. That's because and the reason for it was because I didn't want to bring a woman up with me and she Jeff Bezos my ass, Elon Musk my ass. So I was like, I'm like, let me make sure this is the person that this is it because I was
But
divorce rap.
how did you switch up and start becoming a completely different person in the middle of the relationship? I don't understand that part.
He
It's
got
it's
on the
like
internet.
it's kind of I saw inside of your in your video earlier, money does not change you; it just amplifies who you are.
Mm.
So I must have always I've always been accountable. I just never had the status and the things behind me to show I was. I've always been competent. I just never had the scoreboard to prove it out. And it's like, I'm not trying to say that when I got that, she became nothing. No, when I got that, I became more like, listen, girl, we have to, no matter what, if we get married, we can never, ever divorce.
You can't talk
Because,
to her like that. You
Bro,
can't
you just
talk.
gotta, man.
Anton, I wasn't saying that to her like that.
She
Like,
loved your dirty
letting you
draws,
know
bro.
that was my mind.
That's why she was throwing shit. She
No,
loved that's what it was. And
uh,
you have to realize women, bro, she probably felt judged when she was with you. And when she gives you your answer, she's giving you the answer that she thinks she wants to hear. And that's probably where that disingenuousness is coming from, bro.
and I take that as disrespect. Honestly, and I understand. And, I'm not here to change
Where did
people.
you
I'm
get
here
all
to
of these
go.
standards from when you didn't have them before though? You didn't feel disrespected when she was holding you down. When she gave you the when she put you on, when she
And
helped
that,
you to become who you were,
and I,
you wasn't
no,
feeling disrespected.
there were times in our Anton. We've always had times like you said in your past videos. It's growth, and within our relationships, we've always had our battles about this and that and this. It just wasn't, she likes me, she's taking care of me, yada yada yada. It's all la la land. It was throughout the course of our relationship, there were things that we were at odds on, and there were things that we were there, to fix on and things like that. But I just basically couldn't connect with the disrespect. I always felt like no
So
matter
did
what
she
we're
start
speaking,
disrespecting you before you got on or after you got on?
I'm sorry, what?
Did she start the disrespect before or after you got on and became successful?
I would say it's always been disrespect. It's always, and I wouldn't say
So
that as
why did you stick around in the beginning?
because I thought I could fix it. I thought that I essentially because dance.
Oh, because she was making sure you was good. She had everything in her name. She was making sure that you came up and she supported you. And you switched up.
There, see, and that's the thing. I don't like, and I because I'm very honest when I don't understand something. I don't think I switched up because at the end of the day, I just think that what I'm doing is making sure that the next 20 years of my life is not us having a divorce. If this woman is somebody like you said, I'm just making sure I'm not with a gray zone woman.
Listen, I don't think that look, I believe that either you single or you married. I think that the number one thing that y'all was doing, y'all was shacking up. And
Okay.
I believe that she probably felt some type of way because she noticed she was there for you from the beginning. Once you got money, and you probably got money, and you probably started getting noticed. I'm sure the ladies is probably hollering at you and all of that. And so you got status, you got money. You know what I'm saying? I like your style. I think that you dress phenomenally. You know how to communicate more effectively, probably than ever. You was probably dusty when y'all first got together, and now you the man. And so because you continuing to grow and because you continuing to evolve, I think that you decided that you can do better than the situation that you came up in. Now, here's the other part of it though. I don't think that you're wrong. I believe that because you were not married, because you guys don't have children, that you can do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. And that's just life. Life ain't fair. Sometimes people move on, sometimes people grow, sometimes they evolve. And so I cannot hold you accountable for deciding what you want to do and what you want and deciding that she's not going to be a part of it anymore. Because again, that's not your wife and y'all don't have kids together and there's no family to break up. But here's the other part of it. Here's the last part of it. At some point, you're going to have to understand that as successful as you become, you cannot leave behind or forget about the people that helped you to get where you are. One thing about me and everybody that has ever met me from the beginning, even people that just met me on YouTube and stuff like that, and they looking at my growth, I have never forgot the people that helped me to get where I am today. I'm incredibly thankful. I'm always humble to the people that hold me down, and I always look out for people. As a matter of fact, Rita, somebody hit me up today. You don't have to say the amount or nothing like that. But what did they say to me in an email?
A little financial boost.
They needed some help and a financial boost. What did I do without no questions?
Ask for their cash app and send it over.
I asked for their cash app and sent it over because I tithe my money to the people. And I
Well,
never hold
well,
on.
in fact, go
I
ahead.
never forget the people that I came up with. I never forget the people that was loyal to me. I never forget where it is that I came from. I've been the same person since high school. Same sentiment, same personality, have grown in my business acumen, have grown in a lot of the things, the intangibles that allow for me to become more successful. But as far as my character, my humility, my prayer, my dedication to God, my understanding, my love for people. That's the part that I really wanted to work on in addition to my business acumen. And so I don't think that you're wrong for leaving and doing what you want to do because you have no ties to nobody. But I do think that you really, really have to focus on being loyal. You have to focus on working on your character. And you got to focus on stop being so rigid because life is about being water. It's not about being a rock. Water is much more powerful than a solid.
Well, if
It's
I ease up, if I ease up, don't you think that I can? And I'm not trying to like try to cause tension, but I feel so strongly that if I ease up in today's, like maybe back in your day, not to try to be that guy,
you can say whatever
but
you want to say. You go.
yeah, I feel like in today's time, like in my gener, like 18 to 30,
Mhm.
these people are wearing some different type of masks, and I don't like I'm seeing women like I remember growing up. It's like, yeah, get them on child support. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
Mhm.
do whatever it takes to get them on child support. And that's why I'm like this. I'm trying to make sure because I've seen people change. Like like when I was in the army, I just
But you
seen
changed. You're not acknowledging the change that you made. See, listen, you keep talking about everybody else, but most of the time, I believe that 90% of the change also comes from the person that's in the mirror. When I point the finger, I always point it in the mirror first. You said in the very beginning of this conversation that they held you down, they put you on, they ensured that you was good and that you was successful first, and then they became successful afterwards.
so does
You
that give them the right to
you,
disrespect me though?
you changed. You changed. You came up, you got money, and you changed. That's the truth. Now, they may have changed too. That does not absolve them from being held accountable, also. But a lot of this conversation is about everybody else, and you're not talking about yourself. You
All right.
changed. You switched up.
Well, then
Am I
can I ask you a
right? Am I
question? And
off?
can I ask you my last question?
No, hold
How do
on. Am I
okay?
off? Because I could be wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong.
All right.
You changed. Am I off?
Yeah. No. No. You're right. You're right. You're on par.
Okay, so how come you not keeping the same energy with yourself that you having and having the standards for other people? What about the fact that you left the people behind that helped put you on also? Because see, you sitting here and you saying, well, I don't want to be done dirty and being left behind and get Jeff Bezos. Well, what about if you the one that Jeff Bezos somebody?
Oh wow.
See, a lot of times we make sure that everybody else is held accountable for their actions, but we don't actually have that conversation with ourselves too. Character is just as important in the growth phase as getting money, being successful, and all of that stuff. I'm telling you. And again, I don't think that you're wrong because you didn't break up your family. You was not married to that person. You can choose to do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, bro, you have to learn how to also hold yourself accountable just as much as you holding everybody else accountable.
Wow. Okay. So all right. I see. Okay.
And I
Okay.
and again, I keep it objective across the board. If I see a
Mm.
person doing good, I celebrate them. I celebrated you. I said congratulations for and I think that you're a good guy in all of this. But if I see something that rubs me the wrong way and I don't agree with it, then I'm gonna be honest about it. And I don't care if you're a woman, I don't care if you're a man, I don't care if you're a child, I don't care if you're 80 years old. I'm going to be objective. I'm gonna tell the truth. And when people don't do what I think makes the most sense, I'm gonna hold them accountable for it. I think you have some growing to do. I think you have a lot of work to do on the inside Just as much as you put effort into the outside, you got to put effort into the inside too.
All right.
Got to work on you. You got to work on that art. You got to work on that character. You got to deep dive into your Bible. You got to pray to God. And you cannot be above reproach. You cannot be above becoming a better version of you also. Anybody can grow. Anybody could be able to tell you the game. Somebody else should be able to tell you and hold you accountable and say, "Hey, man, you gotta also look at this part of it too." In addition to the fact that they may not have been right, what could I have done better to become a better version of myself? That's what I would say. Quinn may have something else, but for me, that's what my perspective of it is.
I'm for the most part with Anton, man. You just gotta lighten up, bro. Untuck your shirt, let shit kind of happen. You're structured. You know where you're going, bro. But when it comes to these women, you gotta sometimes you gotta slow stroke them.
See, I haven't had it. I've
From
never
what
had
I
an issue.
hear,
I'm sorry, it's still
for
delayed.
she wasn't for the most part. She was a good chick. You know, she stepped out a lot a couple times, and you was like, no, 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 no. You cracked that whip, and you was like, nah, bro. She was a good woman. Sounds like, bro.
But I think you a good
I
guy.
get I get where you come from, but
I think
you
he's a
gotta,
good guy. I think he's an
no
incredible guy.
doubt.
I think he has a great future ahead of him. I just don't want him to lose sight of where he came from because, our past often at times can remind us of where we're going, but it can also help us to remain humble, um, and remember and pay attention to the people that surround us.
Yeah, I just look at it like this. I just don't want it to be like we're growing here and no one's coming up here to meet me, and instead I'm going down to their level to meet them. That's another fear of mine. I don't want to hold your time. I
Well,
do.
well, let me
Uh,
say this, though. I'm never leaving my girl behind, ever. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened. I don't care if something was to happen to her and God forbid she got paralyzed. I don't care if she's going through something and all of this other type of stuff. We built this together. We came in this together. We going out together. That's it. She
so what
coming.
do you
She's coming with me.
what do you
She's
suppose that I
mine.
had done? Did you?
She's mine, and she's coming with me. And it ain't nothing that nobody can say that's ever gonna have me not have mine with me. She's mine. That's it.
Okay.
My daughter is mine. My wife is mine. Any person that's under my covering is mine. The only thing is if you choose not to be there, then you can leave if you want to, because I'm never gonna hold nobody against their will. But I do not switch up on the people that's been rocking with me. You was there with me when I ain't have nothing. You gonna be here with me when we got everything.
Right. I understand. And so at that point, you just would have let things cool off, huh? You just
100%. Because sane heads always prevail. I'm never gonna make an emotional decision just because we having a disagreement or we in a tiff or we in a situation. Girl, come here. What you?
I didn't look at it as
Listen,
emotional. I just looked at it
Tell
as
man.
once you stop
I'll tell
cooperating.
man in a heartbeat. Where you gonna go? Listen, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't got nobody but each other. I start talking big jump. Like, where you gonna go? Ain't nothing out there for you. Man, I ain't going nowhere either. All right, well, listen. Well, I guess we just gonna be upset together because I'm not leaving out the bed. You not leaving out the bed. So go ahead and take them clothes off so we can spoon. And that's gonna be the end of it. Then we start laughing, we start joking. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, she making me some eggs in the middle of the night or something like that. I don't know, but my point is that man, half of the shit that we be arguing about, to be honest with you, be so petty. If it's not something big, hey, she ain't out here fucking on somebody else cheating. She ain't out here like disrespecting you and telling all your business and throwing you under the bus. Man, this little petty junk a lot of times. We start to get so caught up with life that we forget who we really are. And when you get back to the core of things, most of this stuff is stupid. And we let little small things fester and blow up. And then next thing you know, huffing and puffing and blowing our chest out. Man, this junk be so small and silly.
Yeah, honestly, that made me feel better. I was gonna say something, to just, I guess to refute something earlier you said, but you said, it's just like you just messing around with the small things, and some things you need to let go. And I didn't look at it as me making an emotional decision, Anton. I just looked at it as me making a rational decision because at that time I saw my female stop cooperating.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes you got to stand firm. And then the other times, sometimes it's not even big enough for us to be able to argue about it. It's just so small and silly. But we sometimes we make it to be more than what it is. Some things you do have to stand firm on. I agree with you on that. Other things, that junk be so stupid and silly. It be so
it's.
dumb.
I think what I've learned here from is my judgment. It's my judgment, and I don't think I need to loosen up, but I will be open to it. But I do think a lot of this comes from my discernment. If I was better with my discernment, then
Do
I
you
may
pray?
have. I am starting to
Let's
now.
be real.
I was embarrassed even when I spoke to myself because I kind of didn't know God. But now I am. I'm more.
So how
I'm
often
more.
do you pray? How often do you pray? Be honest with me.
Like out of a week, I would say now I pray at least once a day. I probably say I pray at least 4 or 5 times in a day because I'll be I say I'll say little things like I've been saying like, hey, can you just show me who you want me to be in life, and can you guide me to that, and can you please just help the people who are going to be in my life help point me into that direction too.
Well, maybe
And I've
this
been
is the message that he gave you. You prayed for it, and here's your message.
absolutely. I thank you. I appreciate this time that you've been giving me.
Absolutely, my friend.
You'll be all right, my wife.
All right.
Be all right.
I don't know how to get off this site. Do I just close the window?
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, that's like a
Uh,
hang up button. Are you on the
oh,
phone?
okay. Hey,
Hang
thank
up
you. I
button.
appreciate you guys, and you guys have a real
Thank
safe
you,
and
my
blessed night.
friend. I appreciate you.
Good luck,
All right.
man.
What do you think about that, Quinn?
Man, he a legit guy. He got some purpose, but I think when he turned on this red pill content, he probably upped him a notch. You gotta, man. This if you when you get on the internet, because I was this way for a while, and I was like, nigga, that ain't me. I need to stop this bullshit. You know what I mean? I started spouting off the Kevin Samuel stuff, and niggas looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, you know what? The information is right. I think that I've learned something tonight, right? In that conversation, really quickly. And what I've learned is just as important as the information is that we got to figure out how to the application. The implementation and the application of it is just as important.